What's going on, guys? Chris Sablon with DEO here. So right now I'm going to talk about some of my favorite shells and shot sizes for particular ducks. So let's just jump right into things. Small ducks, so we're talking green wing teal, blue wing teal, anything like that, little small ducks. Typically use a 3-inch shell and 1.25 ounce, usually my standard. And I'll go with either 5 or 6 shot for teal. 6 maybe not, but maybe usually 5s. That's because teals are usually diving in and out of your decoys. They're pretty sporadic. They're flying up and down. You know what I mean. They're just a light bird that just soars. So usually use that. Gives you a little more pellets and hopefully gives you a wider spread if you're using like a cylinder bore or not modified, but improved cylinder or cylinder bore. To be honest, we don't really have a teal season, but we know where the teals usually are. So if we are going to that dedicated spot, we can use those shells. Here it's just October 1st to December 31st, straight duck season, and goose season overlaps in there somewhere, and there's some days off. But yep, we usually use 5 or 6 if we're doing it, and I use a Kent Teal Steel. It's pretty cheap, $20, and relatively good shell. Next would be medium ducks, so we're talking wood ducks, widgeons, gadwalls. And we're usually going to use a 3-inch shell, 1.25 ounce, and use a number 3. So it's usually black cloud, a little more pricey, but I find they're the best shell in the market for what they do. Sometimes they're not as fast, but they do the job. I know some people like hypersonics or these super fast shells, but I find they both do the job pretty well. So next is where the money's made. We're talking large ducks, so we're talking our mallards, our canvasbacks, even our black ducks. And that's where we use our 3-inch, 1.25 ounce, probably the most popular shell, number 2s. Usually just how we get it done. They're pretty cheap. They're probably the same price as number 3s, maybe a little bit more expensive. I think they're $30 a box, $35 a box here in Canada. So, yep, they just do damage, and a lot of people like to use like a 3.5 or things like that, but it's kind of overkill, I find. But I'm not gonna lie, I do use 3.5 sometimes out in the marsh because some of those ducks are pretty far away, and it's nice to pack a punch on them. So now we're going on to the large, not large ducks, but geese now. So all we really have here is Canada's, and there's some snow geese maybe up north. But we never seen one, maybe one a year. Never would have a shot at it, wouldn't even know. But we use 3.5-inch shells, which is not necessary again, but that's what we use. And we're gonna use a number 1 or BB or triple BB shell. And that's just so you can knock them down. They come in pretty close, but I find if you have any shell, kind of not that, how do I say this? Yeah, it's nice to have more pellets and more of a, more hitting power, I guess. So if you you can kill a goose with a 2 3/4 number 2 if you want to, but I'd rather use a 3.5 BB if I could. A good shot to use for geese, I find, I've only shot them once, and I'll probably never shoot them again because I don't have the money for them, would be the I think it's heavy shot. What's it called? Heavy shot speedball. Heavy shot speedball. They're like $50 a box, and I don't even think they're 25 in a pack. So, you know, you're shooting toonies and loonies in the air there, so that's pretty greasy. So, okay, so that's what we use for a shot size. So now I kind of touched on it. I'm gonna go back up to the top, start with small ducks again, and tell you what do you call it? What size choke we use. So small ducks usually use, I said it before, cylinder bore, improved cylinder. Down next we had some like our woodies and gadwalls. I like to use a modified choke. Mallards, modified choke again, larger ducks. And then for geese, full choke. So that's usually the standard for everything here. Everybody knows kind of what I just said, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure you guys agree. A lot of you guys agree with it, and I'm sure there's other people that disagree with it. Comment down below what you think the best shot shell for these 4 categories are: small duck, medium duck, large duck, and geese. Thanks for watching, guys, and hunt hard, play hard.